that has been organized by the Civil Society Reference Group in response to the announced commencement of the Public Benefits Action Act 2013 that is scheduled to take place on 14th of May 2024. So we, members of the Civil Society Reference Group, welcome the announcement by the government, especially the Interior Ministry, that the Public Benefits Action Act 2013 will be commenced officially on 14th of May, that is next Tuesday. And we would want to call on the government that we need, all that we want as the CSRG is for full and proper implementation of the PBO Act in letter and in spirit. While we welcome the move, we also note that the move has been long overdue because the Act was enacted in 2013 and being commenced 11 years later shows the intention of the government. And we hope that this time around the government has a goodwill and is not hoodwinking us as it has been doing in the past. We also want to remind the government that the goal of the Public Benefits Organization Act is to provide a new legal framework for the public benefit organizations in Kenya and to create a framework for a cooperation between the county governments and the national governments and the public benefits organization at all levels. This means that coming into operation of the Act has now provided a new legal framework that is based on the Constitution of Kenya 2010, and it immediately repeals the old colonial and draconian NGO Act of 1990, pursuant to Section 70 of the Act. So based on this, we therefore oppose implementation of provisions allowing automatic transition of the NGO Coordination Board, the current board, to be a PBO authority. We oppose that. We also oppose automatic transition of the current NGO Council to become the PBO Federation. We also oppose the automatic transition of the current Executive Director under the NGO Act to be the automatic director under the new PBO Act. This is because these structures have been in office illegally. Because they have been in office due to the fact that the government that has been there vehemently refused to commence the act contrary to the law. And we're saying that when these people continue to be the new office holders under the act, it will go against the provision or the goal of the PBO Act, which is to provide a new legal framework. You can't provide a new legal framework based on the old mechanism. And therefore, the President said that the PBO Act is being commenced in goodwill. We are telling the President of the government that the goodwill should be shown by ensuring that there is immediate setting up of joint stakeholders forum, bring together all stakeholders, including PBOs, to develop regulations for the operationalization of this Act, as provided for under Section 69 of this Act. We are also calling for immediate appointment of a new authority, as provided for under the Section 35 of the PBO Act, in consultation with all stakeholders concerned, and based on the provisions of the third schedule of this Act, ensuring that the process of appointing them is inclusive and competitive. We are also calling for immediate appointment of a new director, as provided for under Section 45 of the PBO Act. And also, this should also be done in consultation with all stakeholders, including the PBOs, to ensure that we have new people leading the implementation of this process. We're also calling for immediate establishment of a PBO tribunal, as provided for under Section 50, of course, again with public participation and participation of all the PBOs to ensure the process is inclusive and competitive. So we have said that we're also calling for the establishment of the interim authority, an interim acting director, based on the provisions of this Act, so that they are the ones who are able to oversee the transition period of this Act. People who have been in office illegally, people who have been the problem, people who have been the people who are finishing CSOs, cannot again purport to be the ones to implement this Act. We're also calling for the audit of all suits, all legal suits, all liabilities by or against the former board, to ascertain that those sections of the suits or liabilities that may be continued by the new authority. Because the new authority cannot inherit cases or liabilities that were incurred illegally, or that were incurred because they were in office illegally. So we are calling for a thorough audit of all the legal proceedings and all the liabilities, of course with participation of the PBOs. We are also calling for immediate transfer of implementation of the PBO Act from the current Interior Ministry to a new entity under the Council of Governors in collaboration with the PBOs and Department of Devolution under the Office of the Deputy President.